this week's Follow the Money, the controversial political spending called earmarks. Many say it's a sneaky way Democrats and Republicans in Congress spend your tax dollars on projects that benefit them but may not be best for all of us. After much criticism, Republicans led the way to ban earmarks in 2011, but that doesn't mean they were gone forever. Joce Sterman talks with Tom Schatz, the head of watchdog Citizens Against Government Waste.
What are earmarks?
An earmark is an item added by a member of Congress to an appropriations bill outside of the normal spending process, generally to help their district or state, because members vote for bills that they ordinarily wouldn't vote for so that they can get a small earmark of a few $1,000,000.
What do you see as other egregious earmarks? Are there any off the top of your head that really stick out?
There's $836,000 to eliminate the brown tree snakes in Guam, which, yes, is a U.S. territory, but it is really not a problem that affects the entire United States. There's $9 million to eradicate and quarantine fruit flies. $13 million for Save America's Treasures, which is used for local museums and theaters and opera houses. In the past, some of that money hasn't even been used for its intended purpose and returned to the Treasury.
What do you see as the real harm, though, of earmarks?
Earmarks corrupt the entire budget process. In the 2000s, in the early 2000s, members of Congress and lobbyists went to jail over earmarks. That is what eventually led to the moratorium that was adopted in 2010. $15.3 billion in earmarks in fiscal year 2019 is more than it has ever been under the moratorium, so it's moving in the wrong direction.
So you talk about this moratorium, and obviously there was an effort to eliminate these or at least limit the number of them. Why does it seem like they're growing?
Congress always finds ways to get around its own rules. Members of Congress are very creative in how they spend the taxpayers' money.
Some people would argue that this is what helps get legislation passed, but do you see it just as greasing hands between powerful people?
The members of Congress who get the earmarks are disproportionately on the Appropriations Committee. The members of the Appropriations Committees in the House and Senate, which comprise about 15% of the entire Congress, they got 51% of the earmarks and 61% of the money. It's disproportionate, it is unfair, and it's corrupting. That's what's wrong with earmarks.
This year, Republicans in the Senate made their self-imposed ban on earmarks permanent. Over in the House, some Democrats have pushed to restore them. But at last word, there wasn't enough support to allow them again in 2020.